Hi guys, today I'm coming at you with a very different kind of video. Today I'm going to be talking about skin cancer, specifically melanoma, because that is what I was diagnosed with when I was 20 years old. I'm going to start off by saying if I do make any jokes in this video, that is the only way I manage to deal with my skin cancer, so if I do offend you, I really don't mean to. It's just that I have experienced this. You know, I feel like I'm allowed to talk about it in my own little way because it was my cancer and it's now gone now, thank goodness. I hope, fingers crossed, it doesn't come back. I mean, I'm lucky in the sense that it was caught pretty early, but you know, not a lot of people survive it. And melanoma is actually the most deadly form of skin cancer. It does account for about 5% of skin cancers, and 71% of all skin cancer deaths are from melanoma. So we're not just talking about any old skin cancer here. Also with melanoma, one person dies from melanoma every 52 minutes. It is a very strong form of cancer. So you're probably wondering, why am I telling you this now? Well, it's been about a year since I was diagnosed with melanoma when I was 20 years old. When I was diagnosed with melanoma, I was in my third year of university. I was travelling back and forth all the time because I wasn't going to let it affect me, you know? Like, I'm not going to let it beat me and stop me from doing the thing I love the most, which, if you guys don't know, it's drama, it's acting, and also I love doing makeup, because I'm now a qualified makeup artist. When I completed my makeup course at the beginning of October, I was the only one crying at our graduation because thinking about what I was doing and what was in my life last year, like, I never ever thought in my life I would be able to be qualified as a makeup artist and graduate from university. I mean, I dread to think what would have happened to me if I left my mole for any longer than I did, you know? I mean, I'm not going to patronise you guys at all. You know that there are about 4 stages of each kind of cancer. My melanoma was 1.25 millimeters deep, which means it was in the stage 2 category. That's why I had to have 2 operations and not just the one. I do have 2 blog posts, one for my first operation and one for my second operation down below, which I wrote last year because I was like, well, you know, I might want to look back on it, and I'm really glad I did actually write about it because, you know, I'm able to remember things that I wanted to repress in my brain, and I'm like, no, I shouldn't repress this. I need to talk about this because someone my age could be looking for stuff on the internet about melanoma for 20-year-olds, and hi, you're not alone. You are really not alone. I felt alone. I only found about one other video on YouTube about a girl who was about 22 when she was diagnosed, but that was in America. I'm British. Thank God for the NHS. That's all I'm saying. Thank freaking God for the NHS. I mean, I don't want to be dramatic, but, you know, I might not be alive right now if it wasn't for the NHS, because once you get melanoma, it can spread extremely fast, which is really terrifying. And you're wondering, how does it spread? Well, basically, it goes onto your lymph nodes. It starts in the skin, it goes up to any of your lymph nodes, so that could be in your hips, in your neck, in your armpits. Well, how does melanoma start? It starts from usually a really, really ugly looking mole, which is what happened with me. So I thought I'd tell you guys to be your own doctor and look for your moles. That is the most key thing you should do with your body, whether you think you're at risk or not. I've got a friend who's black and she has had some scary looking moles which she's had removed. I mean, lucky for her they weren't cancerous, but you know, it's proof that it's not just light-skinned, light eyes and light hair that gets it. And you're probably thinking, Heather, you don't have light hair. Love, this has died. This is not my natural hair. But yeah, here is a picture of what my mole looked like. I called it Melissa the Mole because, I don't know, because I wanted to give it a name. I don't know why I gave it a name. I probably should have just called it You Could Have Killed Me, You Bastard. But I didn't know that at the time. So as you can see from my mole, it's a lot of different colours. It's uneven in texture. It's pretty bloody big. It was bigger than the end of a pencil, which is the test you should do, by the way, if you want to know whether your mole's a bit dodgy or not. Also, some other characteristics of my mole is that it was crusty. It was quite painful. If I like pushed down on it, it felt like I was inserting a pin into my leg where my mole was, which I knew was not normal at all. So if you push down on a mole and you feel like a sharp pain, that's not good. You need to go and see your doctor, even if you think, oh, it's fine, because that's exactly what I thought. I thought, oh, it'll be fine. I'll get to the doctor, get to the dermatologist, get under the knife. Oh, wait, it's the most deadly form of skin cancer. Yeah. Don't just think that your mole is just a mole, because it might be something worse than you think. So I thought I'd do a little bit of education about melanoma. So the best way to find out if your mole is a melanoma or not a melanoma is A, B, C, D, E. Yeah. A. asymmetrical shape. Now, as you can see from my mole, it definitely was not the same all the way around. My mole was actually 3D as well. Like, it had a little bump over it. Like, whenever I shaved over it, it would bleed. Sorry, that's a bit graphic, but that's what happened. That's the reality of my situation at the time. Don't have it anymore. I have a lovely scar instead. But the best way you can find out if your mole is asymmetrical or not is literally just get a ruler, put it across the centre of your mole. Doesn't matter which direction. You can try it in different directions. And if both sides are not the same, that could be a sign. B, border. So if your border is not perfectly round, that's not good. So if the border is kind of not smooth and a little bit jagged, that is also a sign that it could be melanoma. C, colour. Now, you can definitely tell from my mole, it was about like 3 different colours. It had black, which was the really nasty bit. There was the browns, and then there was this weird like kind of beigey colours, but it can come in all kinds of colours. You can have it black, brown, blue, tan, white sometimes. Mine also had a little shade of pink in it as well, so you need to look out for the colour. If it's more than 2 colours, you definitely need to go and talk to your GP. D, diameter. I remember measuring my mole, and it was probably over 2 centimetres big. Now, most moles should not be over 6 millimetres big. So you can see why my mole was a little bit different, and that's what made it really stand out, because it just looks so ugly. Like, the reason I went to the doctor isn't because I thought it was, you know, cancerous or anything. It's because I was very vain and I was like, I don't like the look of it. But now I have a, you know, a 3-inch scar on my leg, so I mean, depends what you prefer. And finally, E, evolution. If you notice it getting bigger, which I did, I noticed that it got crusty, which it did. The main thing is that I could actually like feel it. It was really bumpy. It wasn't nice and flat like my other moles, as you can see. It was just a big bump with crust on, and it was nasty, I'm telling you. It was very nasty. So yeah, that's the A, B, C, D, E of melanoma. I should make that a tune, shouldn't I? But that's not the only thing you can do to make sure that you don't have melanoma. Do not use sunbeds, ever. I have never in my life ever used a sunbed, and I can put my hand on my heart and swear to everyone, like, I've never used a sunbed, ever. Yet I still got skin cancer, so, But if you do use sunbeds, no. Stop it. I know everyone says, like, oh, people can live their life however they want, and yeah, I agree with that. But as someone who's had skin cancer, I've been through the whole treatment. I do not want anyone else to go through it as well. This is going to be a very obvious sign of prevention, but sun cream. Now, you may think in England you don't need sun cream. You're going to be very wrong, my friend. You need at least factor 30. I don't care what skin colour you are. I don't care how much melanin you have in your body. Please wear factor 30 and above, because you're going to be saving your life, and that sounds very dramatic, but it's true. You know, some people die from skin cancer, and sometimes it's not the sun's fault. Like, I've only been sunburnt a couple of times, but they say if you've had more than 5 major sunburns, you're definitely more at risk at skin cancer, and I am guilty of this. I am guilty. I'm not going to say that I'm perfect, because when I was about 16 years old, I would go and revise in the sun, without putting on sun cream, because I was an idiot, and I really wish I could say to my 16-year-old self, Heather, I don't care if you're in England, you need your sun cream, you got very burnt legs. I've learnt my lesson the hard way, so I'm just going to say to you guys, please wear sun cream. I turn into that naggy mum, that naggy friend. I also cover up as well, that's also a really good one. Staying in the shade from 11 till 3, a really good one. Everyone says like, oh no, I want to be in the sun at that point. No. And I'm sorry if you think I'm lecturing you. If anything, I'm lecturing myself here, but also you in a way. I'm just really passionate about prevention of skin cancer, because it's just really fucks you up psychologically, and I'm going to make a whole different video about that one, so, you know, stick around if you want to see that. But as I was saying, with the sun, the best way you can actually tell whether you're allowed out in the sun is actually to look at your shadow. So if your shadow is shorter than you, that's when the sun rays are really, really strong. So you definitely want to cover up, stay in the shade, always wear sun cream, I don't care where you live, what you're doing, please wear it. But if your shadow is longer than the length of your body, go out in that sun and have a good time and be safe in the sun. Yeah. So I hope anyone watching who's around 20 years old or younger, you're not alone. You're really not, and you can always talk to me about it because I know what it's like, and you may feel like you're alone. I did, I know I did, but there are so many amazing supportive charities out there. Like, I cannot thank Macmillan, I cannot thank the Royal Marsden charity enough for what they've done to me. Having cancer does not just mean you have the disease, it does mess you up mentally as well. But as I say, I'm going to make a whole different video about the mental health side of the after effects of skin cancer. Cool. So if you didn't know that I had skin cancer, you do now. Hi. It's not something I like shoving in people's faces, but at the same time, I don't want anyone else to get a 3-inch scar that can mess up your self-esteem a lot. Yeah. I basically don't wear shorts anymore. I don't like my legs anymore. Used to love them. Now ever since I've got my scar, I hate them. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. It's very different to my usual ones, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Basically, ever since I was diagnosed with melanoma, I've turned into a vampire, and I'm like, son,